Layoffs are everywhere, which means tons of people are looking for jobs, like me. Recently, I almost got scammed while applying for jobs, and I want to share some of the things that I've learned and experienced so you can use those to protect yourself from employment scams. My name is Dom, and recently I got contacted by an MLM pyramid scheme. And here's what I want you to know so you can protect yourself from getting scammed online. So, first, jobs are changing, right? There are millions of layoffs happening right now, and the way business is working is also kind of changing too, right? So, as opposed to a time for pay model, I feel like we're moving into more of a value model, right? So that's in people who are cutting jobs, they're trying to get more productivity, right? So they're judging more so based on value and that productivity as opposed to how many hours you worked, right? And then a lot of entrepreneurial ventures are the same. You're not necessarily rewarded for spending a whole lot of time doing a work, doing work as opposed to the value of that work, right? So just a thing to keep in mind. And then as more layoffs and things are happening, there will be more small businesses and more entrepreneurial opportunities. So I would say, and one thing that I want to keep mind of is to have grace for some of these jobs and new entrepreneurs. There are people in foreign countries who, like, these countries are developing countries. So they also have a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurial activity and opportunities. So not only are they looking in their own countries, they're looking in other countries for opportunities as well. For example, some opportunities I looked at recently, or some approaches that I've received recently, were from people in Africa, right? And Africa is one of the nations that's like developing. There are more business opportunities and more entrepreneurial opportunities happening. So people in Africa are looking for um, like business opportunities, not just with people in Africa, but outside of Africa as well, right? So one of these was a copywriting opportunity from someone who is in Africa and who is looking for someone in the US who may be looking for someone who is in the UK. So just things to keep in mind. Okay, so some of the ways that you can spot if a job is a scam. First, look at the description of the job. That is a huge red flag there if you noticed a whole bunch of typing inconsistencies or just inconsistencies altogether. For example, I search for primarily remote jobs, right? So I look for a lot of remote only jobs, and that's the search field that I usually put in. So I look at the description after I've run that search for 100% remote jobs. And in the description, if it says, like, oh, this job is remote, but lower in the description it says there are 0% remote opportunities, or this job is 100% on site, this is an indication this job may possibly, be a scam. Another way is unrealistic experience and requirements for misaligned pay, right? So let's say you are looking for a digital marketing job, right? And you know that this digital marketing job that you are offering in the nets around, let's say, 75,000, right? Okay, for the job, what you would be doing, for the experience that you would have to have for this job, the market prices this job at about 75,000, right? But you see a an advertisement for this same set of duties that's maybe 20,000 or 30,000. That misalignment may cause concern. That job may not be completely legit. So make sure you're paying attention to things like that. Another thing would be incoherent word vomit. So if you are reading that description and it doesn't make any sense to you, but it's a lot of nice sounding words, that could be an indication that the job may not be real. Oh, also, number four, ghost jobs. So a lot of companies are trying to gauge the talent pool that's out there, and they may not be looking to fill an active position, even though they have that they're actively looking for candidates, right? So that could be another indicator that the job may be a scam. In addition to ghost jobs, or in line with ghost jobs, some companies will put up job posts for jobs that they've already filled, for jobs that they don't have intentions of filling, or jobs that they may be intending to fill later out, like later down the line. If those are scams, I'll let you decide, but you definitely want to be cautious of ghost jobs in that way. You don't want to get your hopes set um, applying for a whole bunch of jobs where people may not be actively hiring. So, another way to get rid of that, and what you should do with every single job that you look for, is to do your research. Whether that's researching and reading the entire job description before you press easy apply, or whether that's doing a Google search on this company, make sure you do your research. If you feel that something is off about this job or the person that you've talked to or an interview, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Your bullshit meter, your bullshit detection skills, they they can serve you well if you let them. So be careful. In a lot of jobs, the best way to not get scammed is just do your research. Just do a quick Google search on that company or the founders or the members, or look for forums, or not forums, but well, forums definitely, like not job boards, but reviews, especially if you can find them anonymously. Like Quora is a really great place to find, because people will post what they feel honestly on those jobs without necessarily fear of retribution. A lot of um, MLMs, multi level marketing, um, scams or opportunities, if you talk badly about those opportunities in public forums or on public job boards or public review boards, there's a large chance that there is someone who is monitoring those comments so as to discourage people from posting honestly, right? So you'll definitely want to look for anonymous job boards when you're looking to get a little bit more of an honest opinion about a job. And lastly, I've said this before, but I will say it again. Please, please, please do your research. The best way to not get scammed is to just look up the job, look up the company, the owners, and trust yourself. If you feel like it's a scam, look for a different opportunity. Like every opportunity doesn't have to be the end all be all. Especially when searching for jobs, we feel such an urgency to find another job, to find something as quick as I can, to get more income as quick as I can, that it can blind us to giant red flags that are in our face. So, again, please do your research, be safe out there. And the best way to not get scammed by a job opportunity is to make your own job opportunity. It's never been easier to start an entrepreneurial venture. I'm not going to lie and say there's, you can just get rich overnight. But if you start something and continue and you're consistent with that thing, it will grow over time. And that will hopefully get you to a point where you don't need to look for a job at all.